And when the truth finally comes out, everything changes. My name is Sarah. 3 years ago, I thought I had the perfect life. I was 29 years old, had a stable career, a beautiful apartment, and a boyfriend named Ryan who seemed like the kind of man people write love stories about. Ryan was charming. He knew exactly what to say. He remembered birthdays. He opened doors. He brought flowers for no reason. When we met, everyone told me how lucky I was. Even my parents loved him. My friends constantly compared their relationships to ours. From the outside, everything looked perfect. But sometimes perfection is the best disguise. The first warning sign appeared so small that I almost ignored it. One evening, Ryan was taking a shower when his phone lit up on the kitchen counter. I wasn't trying to snoop. I simply glanced at the screen because the light caught my attention. The message came from someone named Jessica. It said, "Don't forget what we talked about. She can never find out." My stomach tightened. She can never find out. Find out what? For a moment, I stared at the phone. Then I looked away. I told myself there had to be a reasonable explanation. Maybe it was work-related. Maybe Jessica was planning a surprise party. Maybe I was overthinking. When Ryan came back, I casually asked who Jessica was. His reaction lasted less than a second. But I noticed it. His smile disappeared. Then it came back. "Oh," he said, "just a coworker." The answer sounded rehearsed. Too quick. Too smooth. Still, I wanted to trust him. So I let it go. At least that's what I told myself. The truth, I didn't let it go. That message stayed in my mind for weeks. Every time Ryan smiled at me, I remembered those words. She can never find out. 1 month later, things became stranger. Ryan started working late. A lot. 3 nights a week became 4. Then 5. Every time I asked about it, he had an explanation ready. Big project. Important client. Unexpected meeting. Emergency deadline. At first, it sounded believable. But eventually the excuses started repeating. That's when doubt began growing inside me. I hated feeling suspicious. I hated questioning someone I loved. But my instincts wouldn't stay quiet. One Friday evening, Ryan told me he had another late meeting. He kissed me goodbye and left. Something felt wrong. I couldn't explain it. I just knew. An hour later, I called his office. No answer. I waited 20 minutes. Called again. Nothing. Finally, I looked up the company's social media page. That's when I discovered something shocking. The office had closed early that day for a company event. There was no late meeting. No deadline. No emergency. Ryan had lied. My hands started shaking. I sat on the couch staring at my phone. 100 questions raced through my mind. Where was he? Who was he with? And why was he lying? That night he came home around midnight. He looked relaxed, happy, not like someone who had spent hours working. I asked how the meeting went. Without hesitation, he launched into a detailed story. Every word was a lie. And the worst part, he told it so easily. As if lying to me had become normal. I barely slept that night. The next morning I made a decision. I wasn't going to accuse him. Not yet. I needed proof. Because once trust breaks, accusations aren't enough. You need the truth, no matter how painful it is. Over the next few weeks, I paid closer attention. Patterns started appearing. Phone calls he took in another room. Messages he quickly deleted. Weekend plans that suddenly changed. The evidence wasn't obvious, but it was there, piece by piece, like a puzzle slowly coming together. Then one afternoon something happened that changed everything. I was meeting a friend for coffee downtown. As we walked past a restaurant, she suddenly stopped talking. Her eyes widened. "Sarah," she whispered. My heart skipped. "What?" She pointed toward the outdoor seating area. I followed her gaze, and there he was, Ryan, sitting across from a woman I had never seen before. The two of them were laughing, smiling, completely absorbed in each other. Ryan wasn't at work. Ryan wasn't in a meeting. Ryan was here. My entire body went cold. For a moment I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. The woman reached across the table and touched his hand. Ryan didn't pull away. Instead, he smiled. A smile I recognized. A smile I thought belonged to me. I wanted to confront him immediately. I wanted answers. But somehow I stopped myself. Instead, I took a photo. Then another. Then I walked away. Ryan had no idea I had seen him. That night he repeated the same story. The fake meeting. The fake client. The fake work emergency. And while he lied directly to my face, I sat there knowing the truth. It was one of the hardest moments of my life. Because something inside me finally broke. Not my heart. Not yet. My trust. Trust is strange. It takes years to build. Seconds to destroy. And once it's gone, nothing looks the same. Over the next few days, I started investigating quietly. The woman from the restaurant wasn't hard to find. Her name was Emily. And what I discovered next made everything worse. Emily wasn't just some random woman. She had been part of Ryan's life for almost a year. An entire year. While he told me he loved me. While he planned vacations with me. While he talked about marriage. He had been living a second life. But even that wasn't the biggest lie. Because buried beneath all those secrets was something far more shocking. Something Ryan never expected me to uncover. And when I finally learned the truth, I realized revenge wasn't about anger. It was about justice. The lesson I eventually taught Ryan would change both our lives forever. But first, I needed to know exactly how deep his lies went. The moment I discovered Emily's name, everything changed. Until then, I had been hoping there was some misunderstanding. Maybe Ryan had a strange explanation. Maybe there was something I wasn't seeing. But once I started looking closer, those hopes disappeared. Every answer uncovered 3 more questions. And every question revealed another lie. For days, I barely focused at work. I would sit at my desk pretending to answer emails while my mind replayed everything that had happened over the last 3 years. The late nights, the cancelled plans, the strange phone calls, the moments that seemed harmless at the time. Now they looked completely different. It's amazing how quickly your memories change once you learn the truth. Things that once felt normal suddenly become suspicious. Things that once felt loving suddenly feel calculated. I wasn't sleeping much. Every night I would lie awake staring at the ceiling. Ryan slept peacefully beside me. That was the part that hurt the most. He looked completely relaxed, completely comfortable, as if he had done nothing wrong. As if our relationship wasn't built on a mountain of lies. One night around 2 in the morning, I looked over at him. The room was dark, the city lights outside barely illuminated his face. And for the first time, I realized something terrifying. I didn't know this man anymore. Maybe I never had. The next morning Ryan kissed my forehead before leaving for work. "Love you," he said. Those words used to make me smile. Now they felt empty, like lines from a script. "Love you too," I replied. The lie tasted bitter, but I needed answers, and answers required patience. Over the following week, I started paying attention to details. Small details, the kind most people ignore. Ryan always kept his phone face down. Ryan always took certain calls outside. Ryan always seemed nervous when unexpected plans came up. The patterns became impossible to ignore. Then something unexpected happened. My friend Olivia called me. She had no idea what I was investigating. At least that's what I thought. "Sarah," she said carefully. "Can I ask you something?" "Sure." There was a pause. Then she spoke. "Have you and Ryan been having problems?" My heart skipped. "What do you mean?" Another pause. The silence felt heavy. Finally she answered. I wasn't sure if I should say anything. My stomach tightened. "Say what?" "I saw him." The room suddenly felt smaller. "Saw him where?" "A few weeks ago." My pulse accelerated. "He was with another woman." For several seconds I couldn't speak. Olivia continued. "I honestly thought maybe she was a coworker." I closed my eyes. "No." Then she asked the question I had been avoiding myself. "How long has this been going on?" I wish I knew. After ending the call, I sat in silence. That conversation confirmed something important. Ryan wasn't being careful anymore. He had become comfortable, confident, certain he would never get caught. People make mistakes when they become confident. And Ryan was making a lot of them. A few days later, another opportunity appeared. Ryan forgot his laptop at home. For years, he had protected every password, every account, every device. But that morning he left in a hurry. The laptop remained on the dining table. I stared at it for almost 10 minutes. Part of me felt guilty. Part of me knew the relationship was already broken. Eventually I opened it. What I found shocked me. Not because of what was there. Because of how much was there. Messages, photos, travel plans, conversations, evidence everywhere. Ryan wasn't just seeing Emily. He was promising her a future. The same future he was promising me. The same dreams, the same plans, the same words. My hands trembled as I read. One message stood out. Emily had asked him when he would finally tell me the truth. Ryan's response was simple. Soon, soon. One word, a tiny word, but it revealed everything. He knew exactly what he was doing. This wasn't confusion. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't an accident. It was a choice. A deliberate choice. Again and again. For months. Maybe years. That realization hurt more than anything else. People often say betrayal is painful because someone lies. But that's not entirely true. Betrayal hurts because someone knows the truth and chooses deception anyway. Every single day, every single conversation, every single promise. I closed the laptop. Tears filled my eyes. Not because I missed Ryan. Because I missed the person I thought he was. That person never existed. The following weekend, Ryan suggested a romantic dinner. The irony almost made me laugh. There he was, planning a special evening, acting like the perfect boyfriend. Meanwhile I knew everything, or at least I thought I did. Because I was about to discover an even bigger secret. The dinner took place at one of our favorite restaurants. Ryan smiled, ordered my favorite meal, told funny stories. Anyone watching us would have thought we were a happy couple. Then his phone buzzed, just once. A small vibration, but I noticed it, and judging by the look on his face, so did he. For a split second, panic appeared in his eyes. Then it disappeared, but it was enough. I knew something was wrong. Later that night, after he fell asleep, I checked the information I had gathered. That's when I found a name I hadn't seen before. Not Emily, someone else, a business partner named Marcus. At first the name seemed unrelated. Then I started connecting dots. Financial records, emails, messages, conversations. The deeper I looked, the stranger things became. Ryan wasn't only lying about relationships. There was another secret, a much larger one, and somehow it involved money. A lot of money. Suddenly everything made sense. The stress, the secrecy, the constant need for control. Ryan wasn't protecting one lie. He was protecting multiple lies. Like a tower built from cards. And if one card fell, everything would collapse. For the first time since this nightmare began, I felt something unexpected. Not sadness, not anger, determination. Ryan thought he controlled the story. He thought I was clueless. He thought he could keep lying forever. But the balance had shifted. Now I had information. Now I had evidence. And most importantly, I had patience. I wasn't interested in dramatic confrontations. I wasn't interested in screaming matches. I wanted the truth, all of it, and once I had the complete truth, I would decide exactly what happened next. What Ryan didn't realize was that every lie leaves a trail. No matter how careful someone thinks they are. No matter how smart they believe they are. Eventually the truth catches up. And Ryan's truth was moving toward him faster than he could imagine. He still smiled at breakfast. Still made plans for the future. Still acted like everything was normal. But behind the scenes, the walls were closing in. His secrets were no longer safe. His lies were no longer hidden. And very soon. The next few weeks changed everything. Up until that point, I thought Ryan's biggest secret was Emily. I thought I would